Ahem. In case you're wondering, this is the part where I'm going to... oh, wait a minute. There's noise coming from something else. You can... in case you're wondering, this is the part where I watch the other screen. Oh, excellent. Excellent. It's actually working. It's actually working, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. All right. I'm going to get things started here in just a minute. I'm going to make sure that everything is happening. First of all, thank you and welcome. If you're watching this live, fantastic. In fact, if you're watching this live, tell your friends, your neighbors, you know, your dog, your cat, and just say, hey, come and be part of the action. And, you know, be part of what's going to be happening here. The other thing that I want to say is if you are live, if you are watching live at the moment, say something. Go into the chat and say hi. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go over here and say hi in the chat. Because, you know, I've got the Chromebook open on this side here. Okay, so I'm going to go... say, oops, see, I can't type now. Say hello. There we go. Say hello. Okay, and I just want to say that, you know, I often make mistakes. First of all, this is Cooking with Linux Without a Net, in case you're actually wondering. And in fact, I mean, we could do something like this. MPLAOIER -FS CWL intro. And see, I could do that, but first I have to transition this away, and then I do this, and... There you go. Hey, David, glad to have you here. Thanks for being here. Share the news. Say, hey, come join me in here. Anyway, that was loud. That was maybe a little bit loud. I'm sorry if I blew things apart here. Anyway, what I'm going to do is first of all, I'm going to, you know, cheers, votre santé, bon appétit. I'm going to have a little sip of my wine here before we get started. This is actually one of the great ideas. One of the great things about doing this is once a week I have an excuse to drink wine at lunchtime. I know I should be able to drink wine at lunchtime without any excuse whatsoever, but I kind of need an excuse, and this is what I've come up with. Okay, so so we'll leave it at that. All right, first thing I'm going to do, I don't usually do this. I'm going to transition here so I can minimize this. And I don't usually do the next part here, which is go and take a look at the news. All right, so let's go and take a look at the news here. And this is, I'm going to talk about Audacity today. Like I need an excuse. No, I don't need an excuse. Thank you. I have to say that I have to talk about this today because I think it's really kind of fascinating. Linus Torvalds, in case you've never heard of this guy, is the original creator of the Linux kernel. Back on August 25th, 1991, this guy sent out an email on the Mimics mailing list, or, you know, it wasn't a subreddit or anything like that. He sent out a message that said, hey, I'm working on this kernel, you know, come and join me, and it's never going to be anything big. Well, it turns out that Linux became the biggest thing in computing, because of course it basically runs the entire, I mean, it's the heart and soul that runs the entire internet. Anyway, Linus is famous for, you know, let's just say being a little harsh on the kernel developers mailing list. And he's decided that he's going to take some time off. Check this out. I need to change some of my behavior, and I want to apologize for the people for my personal behavior, hurt and possibly drove away from kernel development entirely. I'm going to take some time off, get some assistance on how to understand people's emotions and respond appropriately. So he's running off to learn some empathy, which I find really quite fascinating. Damon I, good to have you here. Welcome. Nice to see you, dude. Go. Oh, like I said, this is early in the video here, but go tell people. Tell them to come and join us. Tell them to come and join us. Go on like your IRC channels and stuff, and tell them to come here. Let's get a really big group of live viewers today. I know you can always watch this later, but you know, let's get a big group of live viewers. Anyway. Now, I've met Linus on a couple of occasions, and he always seemed like a really nice guy. But, you know, I never went head-to-head with him on the kernel developers mailing list, so I don't have that. Now, what's interesting about that, there's a lot of backlash about this, okay? Everybody is covering this. I mean, take a look at this. This is CNBC. CNBC thinks it's worthwhile considering Linus, trying to be a nice guy. And apparently his daughter has joined in, to talk about a code of conduct for you know, for open source development and so forth. And if you go over on Reddit, there's all sorts of interesting things on on Reddit. But let's go and take a look over here. Now, Linus Torvalds' daughter has signed the Post-Meritocracy Manifesto. This is interesting. Craig, good to have you, dude. Spread the word. Tell more people to come on. Tell more people to come on. Let's get a record number of people live today, shall we? Just for fun. But what I like here is this post. I looked at this today, which I thought was interesting. Okay. To any NSA and FBI agents reading my email, please consider whether defending the U.S. Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, requires you to follow Snowden's example. I don't even know what this is supposed to mean. But anyway, I disapprove of strict codes of conduct. They feel rigid and repressive to me. Hey, look at that. Richard Stallman agrees with old Linus. Not new Linus, who's developing empathy, but old Linus. However, since I've never participated in Linux development, you had to say that, Richard. You just had to say that, didn't you? All right, I've never participated in that. The Linux code of conduct will not affect me. Note that Linux is a kernel, nothing more. Oh, for goodness sakes, Richard. Richard. Anyway, so he had to put all that, you know. It's like, you know, I don't really care about all you people out there and your darn Linux code of conduct and so forth, but I don't have anything to do with it, so I don't really care anyway, although I disapprove of people being good to each other. And because it feels rigid and repressive to me. It's an American thing I wouldn't understand. David, I don't understand a lot of different things. It's not just American things. There's a lot of things I don't understand. Anyway, so I wanted to point that out because you know, it's happening. And part of what I'm going to do today is talk about Audacity. But, you know, there is some Audacity to go on these lists and, you know, and speak your mind in whatever way you desire. So anyway, check it out. Linus is going to go off and develop some, it's sort of like, AA. There's like, is there an NA? There's like all these different AAs, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, whatever. Anyway, so there's a lot of things. Oh, by the way, if you want to check out things that I post that I think are interesting there, you can go and check it out on my Flipboard thing as well. Flipboard.com/@WFTL. I've got a bunch of things there. They're not all Linux based, but you can go check them out if you're. He's on his horse. Who's on his horse? Oh, Richard. I have to remember there's a slight delay between what I see you guys chatting about and what I've just said here. So yeah, exactly. Richard. Okay, so I'm going to start something. Typically, I go into, I show you an app, and then I go, okay, so this is fun stuff. Oh, and by the way, you know, youtube.com/freethinkeratlarge is my channel. Subscribe, share it with people if you don't know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, once upon a time, there was a distribution called Lindos. There it is, Lindos. Okay, Lindos was founded in August 2001 by Michael Robertson, who is both famous and infamous. I met Michael actually a long time ago at the Desktop Linux Summit in San Diego. I liked Michael. He was pretty cool. Anyway, Michael is the guy who was behind Lindos/Linspire. And Lindos was partially infamous because it was sort of billed as a Linux distribution that would basically allow you to run any kind of Windows app. And let's be perfectly honest, it wasn't ready. I mean, basically, Wine is not quite ready yet. Although, if you have Steam on your Linux desktop, you know, Steam, there it is. Application for managing and playing games on Steam. Steam has incorporated Wine into its design in such a way that you can play a ridiculous number of Steam games on Linux now. It's really quite impressive, actually. All right, okay. This is live, so which means I don't follow my rules much. But let me show you this, okay? We just got to do this, okay? We got to do this. Updating. Oh, you're gonna update it now? Connecting Steam account, WFTL. There we go. There's my Steam account. So how you guys doing anyway? Should I sing? No, I won't sing. All right, there we go. Library, SteamOS and Linux. This is all really, really good. But what's interesting here, and the reason I mention it, is there are actually a bunch of games here that I downloaded. Some of these I got really cheap because I do the Humble Bundle. I pay for the Humble Bundle every once in a while. But there are a bunch of games like, for instance, some of the Sid Meier stuff. Some works on Linux, but then there's the XCOM series. One of the XCOMs actually worked on Linux, but a whole bunch didn't. Granted, I don't have them installed at the moment, like XCOM Interceptor, for instance, didn't work on Linux. But now, these games actually even though they were technically games that weren't available for Linux and only available for Windows, they actually worked ridiculously well. Hey, Craig, check it out. Zaccaria Pinball, dude. Zaccaria Pinball. I see you noticed that. Okay, anyway, so there's a whole bunch of games. So wine has come a long way, but that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about Lindos, okay? And Lindos later became Linspire. And Linspire was going to be, more like it got rebought out. Who bought it out? Lindos was the original, but Linspire was then bought by Linspire Inc. is the company that came along, and then it was Xandros. You might remember Xandros. I actually had that. I have a ridiculous number of hours on Zaccaria Pinball. Yeah, well, I'm working on it too, so we'll see how it goes. Excuse me. Anyway, so eventually, though, it was kind of long dead. So what I'm going to do is we're going to jump into our distribution of the day before we look at Audacity, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the live version of a particular Linux distribution. I'm going to say browse into my ISO folders, and I'm going to take a look at Freespire 308, which is actually on the old KDE desktop. Seriously. So this is kind of a long dead, I'm calling it Freespire, but it's kind of like, it's Linspire, but it's kind of a long dead Linux distribution, okay? So let's just say choose volume, and I'm going to say forward, and I'm going to, let's give it 2048, and I'm going to say forward, 20 gigs, sure, why not? And we're going to call this one Linspire, okay? Linspire. And then we're gonna talk about stuff while it's booting here. So I'm gonna say boot from the live CD, and we'll let it boot. Let me stretch that window out a little bit more. There we go. And now the thing that's interesting is that Linspire, the name to Linspire, the rights to Linspire just got bought out by these guys. I say just bought out. It's not quite just bought out. What does Wikipedia say? Currently owned. It says currently owned, so up to 2017. So it's in the last year, anyway. In the last year, this happened, and the company PC Open Systems LLC has decided to go back to development of both Linspire and Freespire. And the reason there's a difference even here is because, he says it won't need that much to boot. You're right, David, it won't. Is because there is actually the old Freespire, so you can go and get the old Freespire, and then you can go into the development portion of it, which is Linspire 7.0 or Freespire 7.0. And of course, you can still buy a license, or you can support them. They have a Kickstarter or something like that going on to try to continue. But here, take a look. This is what's happening with the new Freespire. The new Freespire is no longer based on KDE. I know there are some people on the Linux Journal, Linux Journal channel on IRC who are making fun of my KDE addiction. Hey, listen, I've been trying to run GNOME 3.3 for the last couple of days, but it's been giving me trouble. It looks nice, but it's been giving me trouble with sound so I couldn't do it today for that reason. Anyway, so Linspire, let's go back and take a look at it. So they've released a new version of it. So if I go and take a look at this thing, there we go. We are booting up into the KDE version. And this is like an old KDE. This is like KDE 3.3. This is before KDE Plasma. So there are going to be some people out there who think that this is a really good idea. All right. So let's go jump. So this is the past. Okay. This is the past. This is the old Freespire. All right. And I don't know how many. I think we're going back to like 2009 or something like that for this version. So this is, like I said, it's kind of a long dead Linux distribution for that reason. It's still coming up here. It's still coming up. Is that? Maybe not. This might be the early version of Plasma. But anyway, let's jump ahead and go to the new version. And we're going to call the new version, I'm going to say browse for this one, and we're going to take Freespire 4 with a mate desktop. All right. And remember, this is live, so I haven't done this yet. So we're going to find out whether this actually works. Okay. And because we're going to do other things, I'm actually going to, I think, install this one. So we're going to start the install of this one, and we're going to call it Freespire 4. All right. So we're going to call it Freespire 4, creating the thing. And hang on. So let me go actually in here. And can I install directly, or do I have to boot first? Boot the first hard disk. No, I have to run the live desktop. Okay, so let's run the live desktop on that one as well. And there we go. there's the old Linspire, and as you can see, there's the old logo, the logo down in the bottom corner here. And what does this include? Let's take a look here. We have in our games K-Patience, aggregator, image magic, photonic. What the heck is photonic? Internet graphics. Let's take a look. Let's find out what photonic is. What is photonic? I don't even know what that is. Photonic. Help. About. What is photonic? I don't even know. Oh, image viewer and organizer. Really? Okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to close that, and I'm going to close this thing over here, and I'm going to say exit. Okay, so this is the old one. This is like your long dead Linux distribution here, okay? And I'm actually, because I don't want to kill my system as I'm trying to talk. GIMP! Looks like a Mac. Seriously? Does that really look like a Mac to you? Let's go with the other Linspire over here. It looks like we're still booting. All right, let's actually shut this one down. Let's do a forced shutdown. So this looks kind of oldish, and we've got the remember this, the click and run. Remember click and run? Click and run was their big thing. It's kind of like it's not packaged like snaps or anything like that, but the idea was that you could go into their package manager and welcome to AppGrid. So they've changed it, but it was called click and run at the time, where basically you could just take something like package like this, and then you could just click the installer and away you go. So that was click and run. So let's actually shut this one down. We'll force it down. Force off. There we go. No mercy. And there we go. There's Freespire 4.0. Let's go full screen on this one so you have a better look at it here. Looks more like KDE to me. Well, this one is Mate. Freespire 4.0, as I understand it, is Mate. So let's go. Right click, and I'm going to say open in terminal. And let's take a look at uname-a. And 4.15. Now this looks like a Mac to me. This really does look like a Mac. Geary, Chromium web browser, no items in trash. How do you do this thing? Freespire 4.0, computer, control center. Oh, there we go. Software. Add, remove, or update software on this computer. Welcome to software. Let's go shopping. We got the store thing here. Spotify. So the idea behind Freespire is supposed to be built in such a way. We're in software here. But apparently Freespire is supposed to be built in such a way that all of the stuff that's included with it is free software, as in untainted in any way, shape, or form. But of course, if you go into their store, as we are doing here, if you're going into the store here, there are tons of applications. Plank. What's Plank? What's Plank? Oh, it's a look and feel thing. There we go. Behavior, dockets. There's a lot of things I don't know about this distribution, obviously. Yeah, don't show again. Let's not worry about backups right this instant. You know what? Let's start an install, and then we're going to go look at Audacity. What do you say? Shall we install it? This one looks more like Macintosh to me. Yes, you're right. Let's go install, and let's go through the install procedure, shall we? Install Freespire. All right, let's minimize this. Let's go. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. There we go. Install as super user. Yes, English will do nicely. Thank you. I'm willing to go with English. Everybody understand English out there? Yeah? Good. Excellent. Install third-party software. There we go. See, right off the bat, we can install some proprietary stuff. But let's not do that, okay? Let's make it pure and untainted as possible, shall we? Erase disk, yes. Install Freespire. Let's do it. This will delete all programs. Obviously, we are running a virtual machine manager thing happening here. And let's say Toronto works for me. Let's see, my name. Let's call myself Francois. Computer's name. Let's call it Freespire. And Francois is my username. Choose a password. S-C-C-R-E-T. S-E-C-R-E-T. What do you mean weak password? This is a great password. And I'm just going to say log me in automatically. All right, let's do that. Continue. Copying files. Okay, so while this is installing, I'm going to pretend that there's nothing else I need to do here. And I'm going to go Control Alt so I can get my mouse back. Can I have my mouse back? Can I have my mouse back? Control Alt. Oh, there we go. There's my mouse. Okay. Let's go. Let's leave the screen, and we're going to just go back and play with something else for a little bit, shall we? Okay, so I said that I was going to do Audacity today, but only with Québécois. Only with Québécois. That's true. Okay, so you don't see this at the moment, but the microphone that I'm using is actually a Zoom HN1. That's the microphone that I've got that I'm talking into here while I'm doing this. I suppose I could do something like this. Let's find. This is going to make noise though, so I apologize for the noise. But here, there it is. I'm gonna hold it up so that you can take a look at it. See. There's my that's the microphone I'm using. It may not be the coolest microphone in the entire universe, and it may not even be the best thing that I could possibly use for this. I'm probably making lots of noise, crunch, crunch, crunch. So I apologize for that. But there you go. That's the microphone I'm using, and I recorded a piece of not a bad mic. I kind of like it actually. It's kind of nice. And it works great as a standalone mic. Now I'm using it with OBS, Open Broadcasting Software here, but I have used it for other purposes. So I'm going to say open, and I'm going to go into recordings. Not so funky. Somebody knows about that one, don't they? But here, what I did was I connected the Zoom microphone as a USB drive, and I copied it over. Make a copy of the files. Sure, why not? Make a copy of the files. And there you go. So now, if I were to just hit play, okay, so let's say that I want to delete this first part of it because there's a lot of dead noise here as I put the microphone down and I started going. So I'm going to say delete, so del. So now if I hit play, there you go. So now we go immediately into it. But as you can tell, the volume on this is actually surprisingly, amazingly low. Now there are some things that are, and there's my Zoom file. So this is actually a WAV file, zoom.wave, as opposed to an MP3. And like I said, the volume is really low. Now I could sort of just jack up, but there are actually a number of things that I can do in here sort of automatically. And one of them is normalize. And it's going to go through and it's going to come up with a some sane levels basically for the entire thing. So, oh yeah, Control A. All right, Control A. So let's select the whole thing. This is actually one of those weird things about Audacity to me. Usually when you select it, it grays out, or it's like, this is the area. Now it just goes all white. So I'm going to go back to effect here, and I'm going to say normalize, and I'm going to say okay. So normalize maximum amplitude to -1 dB. All right, there we go. So now if I go back to the beginning, and I hit play.
It was about 2 weeks ago. I was walking down the street one afternoon, and I turned up the stairs into my flat, and I looked back, and he was there, framed in the doorway, looking up at me. I couldn't see his face because the light came in from behind him, and he was in shadow.
Can you hear that?
And he said, "I am Picasso." And I said, "Well, so what?" And then he said he wasn't sure yet, but he thinks that it means something in the future to be Picasso. He said that occasionally there is a Picasso, and he happens to be him. He said the 20th century has to start somewhere, and why not now?
All right. Cool, huh? There you go. Craig is also rightly pointing out. So the very first thing I always do, Craig is pointing out that I can also use amplify to amplify. But my first pass usually on audio is to normalize. That's usually my first pass. Whether it's the right thing or the best thing to do, is not necessarily the case. But let's go back into here and let's just do amplify. And at that point, let's say 1.5 dB, shall we? Let's just do something simple like that. New peak amplitude. No, it's not going to let me do that. Okay, and I'm going to say okay. And now we've run an amplify on the whole thing. So let me go back to where we were here.
He said the 20th century has to start somewhere, and why not now? Then he said, may I approach you? I said, okay.
All right, so let's go Control A again, and we're going to amplify one more time here because we're going to go that rule. And it's not going to let me go beyond that point, not really. So let's go over here. 20th century is to start somewhere, so why not now? So let's go. That's funny. That's funny. What did I?
May I approach you? I said, okay. He walked upstairs and picked up my wrist and turned it over.
It did not take me anywhere higher than that. So let's just play. I wanted to sort of play with some of the other things that we do there. So let's go with let's add an echo. I don't know how well you guys can actually hear this at the moment, but let's try to amplify. Can we? Oh, sorry. I'm going to try one more time here. Control A, and see. Will it not let me repeat amplify? Repeat amplify again. Yeah, see, it's not letting me go beyond that. New peak amplitude. What if I do that? No, it's not letting me do that. Allow. What if I go allow clipping? Let's try that again. And I'm going to go analyze, and we're going to say effect, and I'm going to go amplify, and I'm going to say allow clipping. What if I do that now? And I take it up to here. Aha! Aha! Now it's going to let me. That should be interesting. Whoa! All right, let's check it out. Whoops.
He said, may I approach you? And I said, okay. He walked upstairs and picked up my wrist and turned it over and took his fingernail and scratched deeply on the back of my hand. In a second, in red, the image of a dove appeared.
Cool. That's a great monologue. I love that. I love that. All right, so let's go Control A again, and let's do some other. Actually, before we do that, let's go back and see how our Linspire installation. No, it's still going. It's still ticking. It's still ticking. All right. So, sorry. There we go. Audacity. So let's do some other interesting things here. So I'm gonna first of all, I'm going to stop here, and I'm just going to take a portion of the text here. Let's take this portion of the text, and then I'm going to give it some, let me see, we'll give it some, let's see, let's give it some reverb. Let's give it some reverb. All right, so now, let's go back over here.
He was in shadow, and he said, I am Picasso.
I don't know if you can hear it.
I said, well, so what? And then he said he wasn't sure yet, but he thinks that it means something in the future to be Picasso.
All right, so let's take another chunk here. Let's take this part here, and let's do some other interesting things with that. Let's go with change speed. All right, and we're going to sort of speed multiplier ×2 for that period. So let's play with the sound a little bit more on this one here. So let's go ×2 on that stretch. So here we go.
Picasso, and he happens to be here. I approach you. I said, okay.
Let's go Control Z, so we'll put that back to the way it was. Let's try something else with an effect here. Let's go with phaser. Phaser. Let's see what that'll do. Apply. Oh, it's giving me a oh, there we go.
There is a Picasso, and he happens.
That doesn't do anything. All right. We're just trying things out here, just for fun. Oh.
To be him. He said the 20th century has to start somewhere, and why not now? Then.
What a strange effect.
Is a Picasso, and he happens to be him.
All right, let's see what other kind of effects we can do here. Let's go with wah-wah. Let's try that again.
Is it?
Whoops.
Said that occasionally there is a Picasso, and he happens to be one.
Wow, wow, wow,
Hasn't
wow.
worked somewhere, and why not now? Then I said, may I approach you?
All right, so basically, for the most part, you're going to do, or for the most part, somebody like me is going to do just very simple things like cutting segments out of it, trimming portions. Like for instance, let me go back to do a Control Z here, so I can highlight that one area and go Control Z again. And if I wanted to say, for instance, cut out the last portion here.
Not knowing what hit me.
And let's say that I want to take this last portion here and then I'm going to delete it. Then this is probably the easy way. This is how you're going to do this most of the time. Obviously, we did some amplification there and so forth. But here's the other thing that's kind of interesting, and this is something that presumably we're not going to be able to do with our Freespire because it wouldn't qualify as free software. But we can export as OGG, as a WAV file, or we can do this, export as MP3. And in this case, I'm going to just call it Picasso. Picasso.mp3, and then I'm going to click Save. And at this point, I can tag it. I'm going to call it Sally Tomasivic because it's actually my wife talking on here. So I'm going to. And by the way, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Sally! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sally. Happy birthday to you. And I'm going to call it Picasso because this is actually from a play by Steve Martin. Actually, interestingly enough, it's a play. So I'm going to go a play. And then I'm going to say okay, and I have no idea what the year on it is. We could Google that. Somebody could Google that. And there we go. So now if I go over to here and I go ls, now I have a Picasso.mp3, and if I go mplayer, yes, I still use mplayer. I still use mplayer for everything. I use mplayer for audio and for video and stuff like that. It's sad, but I still use mplayer all these years later. So go Picasso.
It was about 2 weeks ago. I was walking down the street one afternoon, and I turned up the stairs into my shadow. Said at me, said the 20th century, walked upstairs, the image of going to sleep with him. But someone else says the right thing, and I'm on my back, not knowing what hit me.
I love that. I love that monologue. You should go check it out. It's something Picasso. It's by Steve Martin. It's a monologue, and it's just brilliant. You should seriously go check it out. It's really kind of funky. All right, let's go back and see how Freespire... Hey, installation is finished. Let's restart now. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Am I going to get in trouble for that? I didn't actually sing it. You people out there who know stuff, let me know. Let me see. All right, we're booting. Please remove the installation. Oh, okay. Press enter. There we go. All right, Freespire, here we go. We're doing it. Shall we go full screen? Let's go full screen. Let's go full screen on this thing. Let me see. Control Alt. I didn't mean to click in there yet. All right, let's go full screen. Let's watch this thing happening. I'm so excited. All right, maybe I'm not quite as excited as I'm making it sound, but I'm kind of excited. I'm a little bit excited. Take down notice in 3, 2, 1. I've already been deleted in the EU. Funny guy, David. I'm trying to decide whether you're joking or whether you're telling me the truth. Yeah, sorry. That whole EU copyright thing, that whole frankly it's nonsense. I mean, I understand what's happening. I'm gonna wax poetically for a second here, or I'm gonna give my opinions on things. Actually, let's first of all go here. Let's go create launcher. How do I create launcher? Create launcher. What am I doing? Whoops. Close. Cancel. I'm trying to figure out what my applications are in this thing. What are my applications? Video, files. This is just like the desktop part. But where is? I mean, I can see the application launcher here. Is there another application launcher? Is there another way? How would you launch applications in this thing? Does anybody actually know? I don't typically. I mean, I've got my all applications. There we go. All right. Okay. This doesn't work quite the way that I would have expected it to, but there we go. All right. Let's take a look at what we got. In fact, can we expand that a little bit? Audacious to listen to music. Audacity and Audacious. Actually, I remember Audacious. Audacious is kind of like a... oh, they've changed it. It doesn't look like what it used to look like. All right, let's continue on here. And I'm going to say all applications, and let's take a look here. Additional drivers, that'll be the third-party stuff to make it not free. But for completely free and open, they use AbiWord as the word processor. I remember using AbiWord. It was a dark and stormy night. I cut my thumb yesterday. I was making French fries for the kids, and I cut my thumb, so I'm not typing as well as you know, I normally type. At least that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Close. All right. I don't want to. Yeah, close without saving. I'm not really interested. And let's close Audacious because I don't have music to play on here. But let's go back up here. Let's see what else is included with this thing. Okay, Chromium is the web browser as opposed to Google Chrome. Obvious reasons for that. Backups. Bracero. Kaja is my file manager. Thank you. Kaja is my file manager. So if I open that up, there we go. We got Kaja. The launcher I'm not 100% familiar with here, I have to admit. Dream Chess, a 3D chess game. Oh, hey, let's have a look at that. Dream Chess, new game. I haven't actually start game. Dream Chess. Oh, Dream Chess. There we go. How very interesting. I'm gonna say let's. There we go. There we go. Dream Chess. Do. All right, I'm not gonna play this because I want to take a look at the other applications that exist on here. Firewall configuration, G-Thumb, ICE, desktop configuration, K-Patience. Oh, so there is some KDE stuff. I mean, this is actually a supposed to be a mate desktop, but it's using some KDE applications. So I guess it's picking and choosing what they want to use, because Color Paint and K-Patience are all KDE applications, and yet we're using the mate desktop for this thing. So interesting. Plank, stupidly simple. Yes, we figured out what that was. And then, of course, our software logo looks like Fedora-ish. It does, doesn't it? I think they need a different logo. I do. I think they need a different logo. Let's go shopping, and let's mess this up by installing something. There we go. Because the featured application is Spotify. Spotify, which of course is not completely free and open source. So here, so I'm about to. And what was the password? Come on, people. What was the password? SECRET. Don't try this at home. Authentication. So I'm going to take this purportedly completely free, as in untainted version of Linux called Freespire, and I'm going to install something not free on it, Spotify. At least I'm working on the impression that Spotify is not 100% free software. I could be wrong. There we go. Proprietary, license, proprietary. So just like that, that's how easy, my friends, it is to taint a Linux distribution. Joseph, good to see you. What happened? Oh, Cabernet. I don't have the camera still up, do I? No, I don't have the camera still up. Cabernet. I am actually drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon at the moment. That is actually what I am drinking, red Cabernet Sauvignon. And now I'm really upset at myself because the bottle is nowhere near me, and I can't remember what it is I'm drinking. But yes, I'm drinking Cabernet. That is correct. So there you go. So right there, just like that, I have tainted this distribution. So Control Alt. What am I doing wrong here? I'm trying to get out of full screen. Control Alt. Control Alt. Control Alt. I can't get my mouse back. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? I should be able to get my mouse back. Control Alt. Control Alt. There we go. That was weird. That was really weird. Very interesting. Control Alt did not release the mouse for me. That was just weird. Okay, all right. So let's go back over here and okay. So this is sort of where I'm going to leave things off for today, because obviously Linspire is working. There we go. Spotify is working. Application is ready to use. So let's launch Spotify because we're going to go through the process. And again, I've you know, I've tainted the system. And Spotify going to start, and then we're not going to worry about that right now. It's not happening. Nothing is happening. Let's go in here. Let's go all applications. Maybe it really doesn't want to run Spotify. Let's try it again. I don't know about you, but I find that really amusing. It's a completely free, it's like completely free, untainted Linux distribution. You just installed something to taint it, and now it's not going to run. Charles, good to see you. We should do the show from, if you get the chance sometime, we should do the show from computer recycling. That would be cool. I would love doing that. That would be great, actually. So yeah, let's figure out a way to make that work, Charles. Charles is at the Computer Recycling Center in Kitchener. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. Present arms. You made it, dude. What took you so long? I was gonna not even have the show until you showed up. You know, I was just, oh, there we go. Spotify is actually starting up. Wow, that took a long time. Okay, well, I know it is a virtual machine, so let's just shut down the virtual machine and force it off. So there we go. So how many of these did I start up? I think I started up several of them. There we go. I might have started up more than one. There we go. So let's actually let's properly shut it down. Let's treat it with some amount of respect and shut it down this way. Okay, shut down. There we go. No, seriously, Present Arms. I wasn't going to do anything until you showed up. But it took you a long time, and eventually, you know, people were waiting, and as much as I was hoping to get you here, it just couldn't happen. Okay, so here's what I'd like you guys to do. Okay, I love you guys for being here. I really appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already done it, go to youtube.com/freethinkeratlarge and click the subscribe button. Okay, do that for me. It does actually help. Spread the word. Let other people know that I'm doing this thing, and for that matter, go to the Reddit. If you're on Reddit, go to Reddit. Go r/Linux and let people know about it before the show comes on when it happens every week. And spread the word. It would be great if we could get, I know that people can watch it after it has happened, but it would be great if we could do this live. If you are curious in trying out the latest version of Freespire and you don't want to go through, and again, this is the reborn Linspire/Freespire. If you want to check it out, there it is over here, Freespire 4 Mate. And you can find it up here, distro.ibiblio.org/blackfab/freespire/4. Yes, I will put the links in the... Yes, click the thumbs up. That's right, Present Arms. Do that. But seriously, tell other people. Go to Reddit. Go to all the different channels. Let people know that we're doing this on a Tuesday. And, help me spread the word, because that really does help. I did say that already, didn't I? And if you want to look at some of the history, obviously you can go to Lindo's there. If you want to find out some of my nonsense, you can go to twitter.com/WFTL. And I have to say this because Craig is watching and he's going to make sure that I do that. But mastodon.social @Wooftel is me. I'm on Mastodon as well. And finally, if you can't, please don't. But if you can, let me see, patreon.com. There we go. Patreon.com/Marcel Gagne. Is that right? Is that what it is? /Marcel Gagne. I don't know. It's something like that. There you go. If you can do that, if you can afford to support my habit in some way, shape, or form, please do that as well. That would be great. But otherwise, just spread the word. Make sure that you go and check out some of my other videos. There's the Cooking with Linux videos over here, and honestly, I really sincerely appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to go back to my open broadcasting studio window here. I'm going to transition over here so that I can better toast you all. But here's to you, and here's to the lot of us, and here's to Linux and open source software, and we'll do more. We'll do some more of this next time. So, votre santé, bon appétit, and cheers. All right, that's it. We're done. You can go now. No, seriously. You can. It's like, you know,